Hi everyone. I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the country on which we meet today. I would also like to pay my respect to elders past and present and emerging. I started out studying business and marketing because I was fascinated by those creative ads, marketing campaign, and those well-made brand films. I loved how brands connect with people, whether through the bold messages or even some fun ideas that stick with you, or doing something good for society. One of my favorite brands actually, Kos. I was amazed by how everything felt in their stores, the design, the layout. And when I was traveling in Europe, that store is always the first place I went, and I ended up visiting 12 of them from London to Paris and to Berlin. I even worked there as a store staff member in Cheston here. That's how much I was into that brand. It's kind of like some people are obsessed with Apple. And I thought all of that's kind of their marketing, and that's exactly what I wanted to do more of. Yeah. So I decided to build my career in marketing, and I got a marketing internship at Trade Commission, helping businesses expand into Australian market. And there, I got exposed to so many brands, new brands, products, and services, and I was excited to learn more. And we often hosted trade fair. We're bringing Korean companies and Australian buyers and customers together in person. And there, we showcased a lot of different kinds of products, from medical devices, construction materials, or even skincare products. And people could see the real thing and get a sense of how that actually works. And after each event, we always measured how many leads we got, how many buyers we converted. And some of them actually signed the sample contract and they left with smiles. And I thought that's a clear success to me. And everything, like, we hit all targets on our paper. But once we hit the target, we'd move on to the next product, next campaign. Some products landed well in the market, but sometimes it didn't. And like you see on the image, those piles of boxes. So I started wondering, do customers actually use that? Or did it deliver what we promised with them? And we're putting so much effort into getting people to buy in something and getting attention and reaching people. And I was asking myself, where are we actually leading them? And what happens after they arrive? That's when I realized my interest wasn't getting into buy something, but something that actually they experience there. And I started less thinking about how to reach out people and drive action, but more about how people actually use and interact the actual thing. And I became more curious about how to actually create and design those actual experiences. After some time reflecting on what I wanted to do next, I decided to study human-computer interaction, where I studied design and research, a bit of technology and psychology. And it clearly showed me how all these new technologies and products connect back to people. And today, I work at a bank as a product designer, where people might think we're all about numbers and measuring things, and they're not wrong. We care a lot about measuring friction and simplifying processes and making sure our designs connect back to our business goals. Just like I learned from my marketing internship, numbers do really matter when we use them to understand what's working and what's not. But it's always about more than the numbers, because metrics alone don't tell the full story. And yeah, especially for junior designers, we often get asked, what should this screen look like? And we start thinking about what we can do in Figma, sometimes chasing numbers and metrics. That's what I call the numbers trap. And if you think about it, in reality, there should be the next screen, yeah. You might be working to reduce time on task, but sometimes the user actually want more time or some friction to feel confident and secure. Or maybe you're measuring how your customers engage with your products, but when they just want to get things done and move on. And that's why we need to zoom out and stay beyond the screen and ask the bigger question, are we solving the right problem and we're in the right context? And I think only then the numbers we measure actually become more meaningful. And so back to my college story, I think they were not just selling more t-shirts, although sales is important, but they also cared about how their brand felt and what the store experience was like and how the whole shopping journey came together. And I think that's not so different from the way I think about design. Because as designers, we focus on crafting the experience at every touch point. But we also need to stay close to everything that shapes the experience beyond the touch point and beyond the screen. And with this design mindset, it's something that keeps me curious about what's happening outside of the screen. And looking back, I think it's all what pushed me to ask millions of questions to my product owners, BAs, or engineers. So I could really understand what shapes the whole experience and the context around the design. And these days, designing at screen is easier than ever. You can literally prompt to design to generate layouts and ideas in seconds. It's even more tempting to quickly design and deliver if you just focus on hitting your targets. So, for my fellow emerging designers, let's come out of our hole and design not just the screen, but everything that brings it to life. Because no matter what metrics you're looking at or how the tools change, our design mindset stays the same. Focus on people and creating real value. So, if you want to talk more about numbers, please reach out, and thank you for listening.